It's very nice of you to let me have a peek. I'm Gustav McPherson. I'm a...
Yes, a private detective. I'm familiar with your work, Mr. McPherson.
I had no idea I was so popular.
I've read about your case in Paris and the one in London. I'm Inspector Skalnick of the Prague Police.
Is this the 5th victim?
Yes, she is officially. Supposedly, there are 2 missing.
Supposedly?
Yes, well, you know these women. They come and go, often without telling anyone. And then they show up again like they never left. So I don't bother with disappearances.
So you only bother when they turn up like this?
I see. We have a knight in shining armor. If you want my advice, Mr. McPherson, you'd best return to the usual missing person cases or husband-cheating mysteries. This is a waste of your time.
I think you've just convinced me to take the case.
Really, Mr. McPherson? The press will not even cover this story. No one wants to know about dead prostitutes. If they do write about it, it will be about the killer and the number of bodies and not the actual victims. The pimps care even less. They force their women to work even if there is a killer loose. No one wants to sit at a dinner table and talk about this. There is no glory in this case. Like I said, you should stick with what you know.
Do you mind if I ask you a few more questions?
Not at all.
Were all the victims prostitutes?
Yes,
Is the cause of death the necklace on her neck?
of course it is.
So it's not the multiple stab wounds to her chest?
No, well, we aren't really sure.
Does she have any other significant wounds on her body?
Yes, she has scars on her forearms and she is eviscerated.
Eviscerated? I had never seen anything so horrible in my entire life. I'd only heard of horrors like this from the Ripper case in London. Oh my God. Were all the victims like this?
Yes, they were all found like this.
Are all the organs accounted for?
I'm no doctor, Mr. McPherson. I have no idea.
In the other cases, were there missing organs?
Not that I'm aware of.
Who's the coroner?
Emil Corona. He works at the old chapel. He's very... well, I don't want to ruin the surprise. Now it's your turn to share. Maybe you can tell me what you think happened.
I think you're right about the cause of death. That slash across the neck was definitely it. Stabbings to her chest were done before the final blow to the throat. The defensive stab wounds on her arms reinforce this theory. What's bothering me, though, is the lack of blood at the crime scene. This probably indicates that she was murdered somewhere else, not here.
Well, Mr. McPherson, I don't want to be rude, but...
You have work to do, of course. Thanks for sharing. It was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you, too.
I had a feeling that the cooperation between Skalnick and me had just ended. He was testing me for some reason. I was left to fend for myself. Kazimir Stasek. He's been a good source of info on a couple of minor cases I had here in the city. Hello, my friend.
Ah, Mr. McPherson. And how are you this dark evening?
I can't complain. And how's my favorite boy in blue?
Besides my eye and this horrible murder, everything's fine.
How'd you get the shiner?
Shiner?
Your black eye. How'd you get it?
Oh, I arrested a man last night, and for some reason my eye hit this man's very large fist.
Did you get sucker punched?
Well, a little. My partner didn't have time to warn me. Everything happened so fast. I was helping the woman, and I turned around to see if my partner was okay, and wham! Next thing I knew, I was flat-faced on the sidewalk.
And what did the man do to deserve your undivided attention?
He was harassing a young woman. So I asked him to stop, and then things got out of hand. The police are trying to find this animal. We're a little nervous when a man harasses a young woman these days.
That's understandable. I imagine you don't have anything more to give me?
This time I'm afraid I have nothing for you, my friend. Everyone is more or less at a loss.
You don't mind if I ask you a couple of questions anyway?
Of course not.
How long has this been going on?
It started about 3 weeks ago. You didn't hear about it until now?
No, I wasn't in town. I just got back. I was working a case outside the city. Someone called me to see if I could come back and help.
Ah, the very beautiful Miss Ida Skalikova, I presume?
Good guess. She's worried for her friends. I told her I'd see what I could do. Can you tell me about your new boss?
Inspector Yuri Skalnik. He was given the case and got temporarily assigned to this district. He has a good reputation, but he doesn't share much information with us. He keeps to himself a lot.
What? He doesn't trust you?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe he thinks we're incompetent or something.
Maybe. But he'd be stupid to think so.
Why, thank you, my friend.
Were all the victims' bodies dumped?
Yeah, I believe so. But then again, I don't have much information, as I said earlier.
Was there ever an eyewitness?
Nope, never.
That's what bothered me the most. How was the killer getting around the city without being seen? Well, I should leave you to your work, and I have to see my client. Thanks for your input.
You're welcome. Be careful.
Will do. My Ida. The best gams in all of Eastern Europe. She's my angel and the love of my life. I met her on a small case I was working. She used to dance in the neighborhood cabaret. She was involved with the married man I was following. It was love at first sight. Hey, look at you all dolled up. Hi, sweetheart.
I don't like it when you call me that.
I didn't call you a doll. I said that you were... Never mind, I'm sorry.
Good. Now have you talked to that useless inspector?
Yes, I have, and I didn't get much from the meeting.
Are you going to help us?
Of course I will. Was there really any doubt?
No, but you never know. When do you want to settle this, now or later?
No, I don't want money, Ida.
Nonsense, you will accept our money. How much do you charge?
Okay, listen. We'll settle this after the case, all right?
Do you promise? Because we'll feel insulted if you don't accept our money.
What was I supposed to do? Take money off these women? That's the last thing I wanted to do. Yes, I promise. I will charge you at the end of the case. Yeah, right. What was her name?
Who?
The victim's name?
Oh, her name was Frantiska.
Were you close to her?
Not as much as Milena, but yes, I knew her.
Did she ever talk about a regular client or someone special?
Not that I know of.
Do you think Milena can answer a few questions?
I guess. Let me ask her. Milena?
Yes?
This is my friend, the one I told you about. He's here to help us catch the man responsible. Do you think he can ask you some questions about Frantiska?
Okay.
I'll wait for you up the stairs, okay?
Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Hello, Milena. My name's Gus McPherson. I'm here to help stop this from ever happening again.
I thank you, sir. Not a lot of people would help women like us.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about Frantiska?
No, that's fine.
How long have you known Frantiska?
Well, I've known her for a long time. We met in the orphanage when we were just little girls. Her parents had died in a terrible accident. We became very close. We both left the orphanage never to return. We never liked the sisters. Ever since we left, we tried to survive on the streets, even changing cities. But we kept coming back here.
Did she ever talk about someone new or special?
No, it was not her style. Frantiska would rarely take new clients. She had regulars and enough to allow her to survive. She would only take complete strangers if she absolutely needed to. Apollina is more like that. She always has a new rich client.
Did she ever have a client that had been violent with her?
No, she only had clients she trusted.
How about you? Have you had any trouble with any of your clients?
No, I'm like Frantiska. I have only regular clients. If I'm on the streets, it's because I'm keeping my friends company.
Were you close to any of the other victims?
Well, there is one that was a common friend to Francisca and me. Her name was Inezka. No one's found her. She just disappeared one day. We honestly don't know what happened to her. And I knew the others only on a professional level.
Did Inezka ever complain about any clients before she disappeared? Or did she ever talk about leaving?
We all talk about leaving. Who wants to live their life like this? But she never complained about anything. Inezka was like Apollina. She took on many clients. She left town a lot, but always came back with a broken heart. I hope she did find someone and left this place.
Where can I find this Apollina?
She usually works the park. Rare are the girls who are allowed to enter it. She's very protective of her territory. That's what she calls it anyway. Francisca and me were allowed in because Apollina knew we didn't take strangers and pretty much had our own regulars. Inezka was Apollina's good friend, so she was allowed too. So we all kept each other company in the park. Maybe Apollina knows where Inezka is. I don't know.
Well, thank you for answering my questions. It was a pleasure to meet you, even under these unfortunate circumstances.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Mr. McPherson. I thank you for trying to help us.
Trying? I haven't even started yet. If I have any more questions, how may I contact you?
Usually in the park.
Again, thank you. Ida's an angel on Earth. She's the sweetest person I've ever met. I truly believe she doesn't have an angry bone in her body, even with the difficult childhood she had. A stepfather who molested her on a regular basis. Ida is always positive, and she's always willing to help the people who surround her. That's why she hired me to try and help. She has an undying optimism about life in general, and I love her for it. Hey.
How is she?
She's okay, I guess, under the circumstances.
I'll go talk to her after.
How have you been? I mean, are you feeling better?
Yes, a little. It's not as bad as when you left for your case.
Did you go see the doctor?
No.
Ida, go see him. It might be serious. I'm no doctor, but throwing up every day is not normal. Go see him.
Okay, I'll go see him. I don't throw up every day, you know. You always exaggerate.
Yes, okay, but go see him as soon as possible. Tell me, where can I find Emil Corona?
Who's he?
He's the coroner working the case. I need to ask him a few questions. Skalnik said he worked in an old chapel. Do you know where it is?
Yes, I'll mark it on a map.
I don't need a map. Just tell me where it is.
What is it with men and directions? Take this map, it'll help you. I marked the location of the old chapel. It's not far from here.
Okay, thanks, sweetheart. Okay, I have to see this Corona. I want you to stay off the streets as much as possible. Never walk around alone.
Yes, I know you've told me 100 times. I am careful.
Okay, I'll ease up on you. You be careful.
I will. Now go.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you at your post?
Well, you told me to.
Never mind. Do you have any news, at least?
Yeah, the American is talking to the girl's boss.
So, he thinks he can move in on my women, huh? Well, my friend, if you ever see him, you may explain things to him.
Explain what?
Use that brute force of yours, you idiot!
Okay, boss.
I truly miss your brother. He was the smart one.
Yeah, I miss him too. Why can't we get him out?
Because I'd probably get arrested too, you moron! That's all Skalnik wants anyways. I have a feeling he will blame me for all these murders. Why am I telling you this? Go back to your post. You see the American? You can rough him up.
Okay, boss.
I'd better steer clear of the big guy. The scrawny-looking guy was probably Ottokar Kubina. Who can forget that name? Anyways, he was the pimp of the neighborhood. He worked out of this little lingerie shop, which acted as a front, of course. He owned a couple of joints in the district, including the cabaret where Ida used to work. I think he never forgave me for stealing Ida from that dive. In nomine Patris et Filii Spiritus Sancti. This place had the metallic smell of blood and the stench of rotting flesh. This old chapel had been converted into an autopsy room. Now blood dyed its floor. Hello, Mr. Corona. My name's Gus McPherson. I'm a detective that was hired to help my client... Hello? Sir? Hello?
Huh? What are you doing here? I thought I'd locked the door. So where is my cone? What are you trying to do? Give me a heart attack?
Sorry, Mr. Corona.
Who are you and how do you know my name?
Like I said earlier, I'm Detective McPherson. Inspector Skalnick told me that I could ask you a few questions.
If Skalnick says it's okay, then it's okay.
What happened to your hearing, if you don't mind my asking?
It happened in the Great War. I was a medical aide. I would get the wounded from the trenches to the temporary hospital. One day we saw a wounded soldier in no man's land. We rushed to him, and a mortar shell exploded on my partner. I survived, but with hardly any hearing left.
So that's where you got your experience?
Yeah, mostly. Ironically, the war ended 3 weeks after the shell exploded.
Can you walk me through your observations of this victim?
Okay. The cause of death is like the others. The cut to the throat.
It can't be the multiple stab wounds or the evisceration itself?
No, I'm pretty sure of that.
What makes you so sure?
The one before her. The one we found in the park. She was killed in the same spot she was found. It was clear that it was the wound to her throat that killed her. The rest was probably done after.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
Because not much blood was coming from the other wounds. The heart was still beating when the throat was cut. I could tell by the amount of blood that had poured from the throat wound.
So you weren't sure about the cause of death until you saw the victim in the park?
Well, I had my doubts, but when I saw her, yes, she made things more clear.
And the same killer would use the same brutal techniques?
Precisely.
Does the victim in the park have any other differences from the rest of the victims?
Yes, the cut to her neck indicates an attack from behind. The rest, including this one, were attacked from the front. If only I had the other body, I could show you the difference.
That's okay. Really, I trust your judgment. You don't have the body, but maybe you have a file on the victim from the park?
Sure. The man who was supposed to come and get the file never showed up.
What man?
Skalnick's errand boy. He comes to get the files I make for each victim. He still hasn't come to get the one from the park.
Ah, I see. Well, I'll take Inspector Skalnick's file if you don't mind.
No, I don't really care.
Where do you keep your files?
In my safe over there. I can never remember my combination, so I wrote it on a piece of paper. I think I lost it somewhere.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I hate this part of my job. Not a pretty sight. Poor doll. She never saw it coming. The cut to her throat is very deep. It was definitely a frontal assault. It looks like the first try at the throat missed. In every body, there's a puzzle waiting to be solved. These were installed recently. She was the only victim that had been attacked on the spot in the park. Maybe the police had overlooked something. I had to go see for myself.
Stay away from women!
Sorry, Mac. I like women too much.
I woke up with a splitting headache. It wasn't the first time my smart-ass mouth got me in trouble.
Why, hello there. Nice night for a walk, isn't it?
It's a little too German expressionist for my taste, but I guess one could appreciate it.
Need some company?
You must be Apollina, right?
Yes. You've heard of me.
Do you know Inezka?
Yes. Do you want both of us at the same time?
Do you know where she is?
No, I haven't seen her in a while.
When was the last time you saw her?
Hey, do you want Inezka or me? Are you a cop or something? If so, I'll be very disappointed.
Not exactly. I'm a detective. I was hired by some of your friends.
What friends?
You must know Ida, Milena, and the late Frantiska.
Yes, I do, and they are most certainly not my friends.
And you're not afraid for your own safety?
I have all the protection I need from Roman.
Don't you care that some people you know are dying?
Actually, no. More business for me. We are just whores to the police anyway. Besides, I have all the protection I need from Roman. Now, would you kindly fuck off? You're scaring potential customers away.
Sure, whatever.
Oh my. Has my friend here stolen this from you?
He has, yes.
I cannot help but be embarrassed. You see, I taught him to retrieve shiny objects for me, and he does so remarkably well, don't you think?
Yes, he does.
Being a coachman in an industrialized world is not quite what it used to be.
Where are you from, sir? If you don't mind my asking.
I'm from all over Europe, it seems, sometimes. I usually don't stay in one spot for very long, but I've stayed here for a while now. My legs don't allow me to travel very far, I'm afraid. But to answer your question, I'm from London, England.
Come now. You used to be a detective, or a cop even, right?
I'm a simple coachman and wish to remain that. I ask you to no longer continue in this line of questioning. Please, out of genuine courtesy.
Very well. Who are you?
On good days, as I mentioned earlier, I work as a coachman for the odd tourist or for the prostitutes who want to make their way through the city at a bargain price. On not-so-good days, my friend, whom you've already met, becomes a thief to help me make ends meet. On bad days, I'm merely reduced to being a homeless bum.
So you know some of the prostitutes around here?
Yes, I do. I've driven them here and there through the city streets. They hire me or their clients hire me, either because I'm cheaper than a taxi or they appreciate the rustic look.
Do you know any personally?
I knew one personally. On certain occasions we would exchange pleasantries, but most of the time I would just drive. She was very young to be doing what those animals wanted. Her name was Vladana. She was only 16 years old.
She was?
Yes, I haven't seen her in a long time. I fear the worst.
You said her name was Vladana. Are you sure it's not Inezka?
Very sure. Vladana reminded me of a girl I once knew as a young man.
You must surely know about the murders.
Indeed I do. Anyone who lives in this district knows. That is why I fear for Vladana's well-being. May I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Who are you, and why are you so interested in the local problems?
I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Gus McPherson. I'm a private investigator hired by the prostitutes to help stop the murders. They are, for obvious reasons, worried about the situation and have no confidence in the police's competence.
Admirable, Mr. McPherson. Admirable indeed. I have to admit that I have lost all hope in humanity. The things I have seen during my miserable life. You, Mr. McPherson, have restored my faith. Tell me, is it true? Is there a new one that washed up on the shore of the river?
She didn't wash up. Never mind, that's not important. Unfortunately, yes, there is.
Did you see her?
Yes, I did. Don't worry, my friend. Her name wasn't Vladana. She was known as Frantiska.
Thank you, Mr. McPherson. You've reassured me. You said that the body did not wash up on the shore.
No, she didn't. She was, forgive the expression, dumped there.
How is this possible? There is only one way a man can travel throughout the city without being seen, Mr. McPherson.
The sewers.
Precisely. He is using them to move back and forth, limiting the possibility of witnesses. I've stumbled on a few underground passages in this city, but I never found any in this neck of the woods. Maybe you should start looking for some. It would certainly help you in your investigation.
Have you talked to the police about your theory?
Yes, I have. But who listens to a homeless bum? Especially not one who outwits the inspector. That Inspector Skulnick is quite a unique individual.
Unique, huh? Is that Latin for asshole? Is there anything else you can tell me that might help me in my investigation?
I'm afraid not, Mr. McPherson. Only that little theory of mine. I'm only a coachman trying to survive, and this little fellow helps me.
Speaking of which, may I have that ring back?
Dear me, of course.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
It's quite all right.
Gus?
Ida, what are you doing here?
I found something that might help you.
Weren't you supposed to see the doctor? Ida, please don't do this.
Do what?
Help.
Why can't I help you?
Because it's dangerous. Don't you know there's a seriously deranged man roaming the streets preying on women?
Oh, I can handle myself.
I don't doubt that for a second, but I'd like to know that you're somewhere safe so I can concentrate on the case and not worry about you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What have you found out?
Oh, it's really good. I was asking a few questions of some of the women. Anyway, one of them admitted that she'd heard that one of the victims survived an attack and was hiding in the scrapyard.
That's great, but how reliable is the source?
I have to admit it's only a rumor, but isn't it worth taking a look?
Yes, it is.
Be careful.
I will. Stay off the streets, but first go see the doctor.
Yes, I will.
I'll see you later. And Ida,
Yes?
thanks for the info.
You're welcome, and I love you too.
What kind of a moron parks there? Uh-oh. I'm out of here. Hey, Kubina, open up. We need to talk.
What do you want?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
About?
First off, I'd like to clear the air between us. I'm not after your girls. I'm just trying to find the killer, and that's all.
You expect me to believe that?
Yes, I do.
Well, I don't. Everyone wants something. Just stay out of my business, McPherson.
Yes, I do want something from you, but it's not your girls.
I'm listening.
Let's exchange favors. I'll do something for you so that you can see I'm on the level with you. In return, all you have to do is tell that ape that's working for you to leave me alone.
Actually, there is something you could do for me, McPherson.
I thought so. The gorilla's brother is locked up, isn't he?
Yes. Roman is a good resource and is the girl's main protection. Without him, let's just say, if you can spring him out of jail, I'll tell the gorilla to leave you alone.
Why'd he get arrested?
It was some sort of incident with the police. He supposedly punched one, I heard.
So, we have a deal then?
Wait, not so fast. Why do you want Peter off your back?
I need to talk to the person he's protecting.
Ah, Vladana?
So she really exists?
Yes, she does. Spring Roman from jail, and I will let you talk to her.
To be quite honest, I figured you'd be more difficult to convince.
McPherson, we both win if you get this killer off the streets. When you catch him, business will return to normal. Now go! You're wasting time.
I never figured out what that was. One of my favorites, The Prisoner of Zenda. Hello again, my friend.
Ah, Mr. McPherson. What brings you here this fine evening?
Well, I need a favor.
I thought so. What can I do to help?
I need you to be on the level with me about the Shiner.
What do you mean?
Come on, Kaz. What really happened?
Why do you ask?
The man you arrested yesterday, is he the same man that protects Otakar's girls?
Yeah, he is.
I thought so. I need this man free, because I can get precious information on the case. Can you help me?
Yeah, I can help you. But I'd have to ask a favor in return.
I would have been insulted if you didn't ask. What can I do to help?
Well, it's sort of embarrassing.
You can trust me. It's about the black eye, isn't it?
Yeah. The night I arrested Roman, I noticed something missing. My medal was gone.
You have a medal?
Yeah, I got a medal for bravery. I saved some children from the fire that happened a couple of weeks ago.
Attaboy. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, I noticed my medal was gone, so I went back to see Apollina.
Why'd you go see her?
Well,
Never mind, I gotcha.
she stole it from me. I have no idea why. Maybe she needs the money, but I need that medal back. My wife is getting suspicious about it. It's my pride and joy, and saying I forgot it at the office just won't be good enough when I go home. Please, get it back for me. I love my wife and kids. I don't want to lose them over something so stupid.
Relax, my friend. I got you covered. I'll get that medal of yours. Just make sure that you can free Roman for me when I return.
Thank you, my friend.
I'll see you later.
Oh, you again. Stop wasting my time.
Wait a second, will you?
You are truly annoying.
I have information for you. It's about Roman. Interested?
What is it?
First of all, you're gonna have to give me the medal you stole from Stasek.
Why the hell would I want to do that?
So you admit it. You did steal his medal.
Yes, I did. That son of a bitch didn't pay me, so yeah, I stole his precious medal. Just because he's a cop, he can hump me and leave me without paying? Hell no, not me.
Okay, so what happened?
He came to see me when he finally realized that I had it. He started grabbing me and threatened to arrest me. Roman happened to be walking by and he broke up the commotion. He ordered me to go home, so I left.
Well, let me finish the story for you. He got arrested for punching Stasek in the face. Now Roman is in jail.
So, what do you want from me?
I need that medal. Stasek is willing to let Roman out if I get his medal back. Get it?
Of course I do.
Okay, listen, everybody wins here. Roman gets out, Stasek gets his medal back, and you...
And I get screwed for free.
Look, I'll pay you what he owes you, okay?
It's not the money. Here, just take the damn thing and get out of here.
Good evening, Milena.
Hello, Mr. McPherson.
I'm glad to see you're feeling better.
Thank you.
If you don't mind me saying so, I really don't think you should be working right now. It's too dangerous.
Well, I'm not working. I'm sort of keeping an eye on Apollina. If she leaves with a weirdo, I'll follow them.
That's very kind of you. But how can you tell when a client is weird?
Trust me, I can tell.
Okay, well, I won't distract you any longer.
Ada's a very lucky woman.
Good evening, Miss Milena. Here you are, my friend, as promised.
Ah, thank you.
How about your end of the deal?
I'll be right back. Here you are, your new friend, Mr. McPherson.
Who are you?
Let's just say I know your boss. He's waiting for you at his shop. I'll meet you there later.
Whoa, thanks for springing me, mister.
You're welcome. Well, that concludes our agreement. Thanks a lot, Cass.
You're welcome.
So, go tell your brother it's okay if McPherson goes to see her.
Okay, boss.
Well, McPherson, looks like you held up your end of our agreement. I'm sending Roman to talk to his brother, which will conclude my end of the deal.
Thank you for getting me out of there.
You're welcome.
I'll see you soon.
And now, I've just honored my part of the bargain. You may speak with Vladana anytime.
I misjudged you, Kabina.
No, I don't think so. I have my reasons to protect this girl. Here, before you leave, this might come in handy.
Thanks. You sure you're not a nice guy after all?
No, I'm not. Now get out of here.
Come here, my friend.
Okay. Please. Can't breathe.
Let go of him, Peter. You're hurting him. I wanted to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Then just say thank you. Thank you.
Again, you're welcome, my very large friend.
Gustav, wait! I want to show you something. Stand here and don't cross this line here. Oh, no, not this again. He always does this with the new guys. So don't move, okay?
What's going on? Hey guys, I just want to talk to the girl.
He only likes raw meat. I gotcha!
The crane seems to be locked. McPherson, PI. You must be Vladana.